Hello, welcome to Connie Talk, and this is Connie Lang. After the pandemic, we have been experiencing different impacts, and with that, we are working hard to revitalize the economy. Today, we're delighted to invite Ms. Jessie Chung, who is the chairman of the Hong Kong Containers Terminal Operators Association, to our interview. She's also a member of the Hong Kong Maritime and Port Board, Hong Kong Logistics Development Council, and Task Force of Smart Port Hong Kong. She has more than 20 years of experience in the container terminals business. She was also the former director and general manager of Reefer Trade Terminal prior to her current position. Jessie, thank you very much for accepting our interview. We're delighted to have you here today. Thank you. So can you tell us more about the Hong Kong Containers Terminal Operators Association and also its objectives?
Hong Kong Container Operators Association, in short we call it Hong Kong CTOA, was formed in 1999. We comprise of 5 members. Actually, they are all the container terminal operators in Kwai Chung container terminals.
The big ones, right? The
big ones, right. We have Hong Kong International Terminal, we call it HIT, and then we have Modern Terminals, Costco Hit Hong Kong Terminals, Asia Container Terminals, Dubai DP World Terminals. The association maintains regular contacts with the Hong Kong government, the central government, industry stakeholders, and neighboring ports. Our mission is to promote the Port of Hong Kong as the key transshipment container hub port for the shipping line industries. We aim at promote our competitiveness and also making positive contributions to the societies where the public interests are of best benefits. These areas include traffic, infrastructure, and environment. So we coordinate with other industry stakeholders to have a practical approach where the best interest of the public is protected.
Yes, very important, because if you're talking about the terminal association, there's so many goods coming in and out from the ports, and of course will impact the neighboring people around, and also of course to have the best logistics so can efficiently transfer the relevant products to the right stakeholders,
Right.
So thank you for the introduction earlier. So what do you think are the advantages or the competitiveness for the Hong Kong container ports in comparison to the neighboring countries or other ports?
Hong Kong is renowned as the catch-up port, which means that one of our most important strengths is our high efficiency and flexibility, which is what the shipping lines want. Besides, Hong Kong is a free port. We have the free port status. We have the cabotage rule of China, which make Hong Kong as the port of choice for transshipment. So that's why Hong Kong has been developed into a transshipment hub port for many, many years. And also, we are strategically located at the southern tip of China and at the center of the ASEAN, Japan, China, and South Korea. We have the big catchment area behind us in the Guangdong provinces, which provide us a very reliable and stable cargo source.
So would I say that it's more collaboration with the neighboring ports in China rather than competition?
It should be, to be exact, it should be collaboration rather than competitions.
I would think so.
Also besides with the continuous investment of Hong Kong, and also Hong Kong is a very natural deep harbor. Actually, the Port of Hong Kong can handle 8 mega vessels at one time.
8 mega vessels, wow.
Of over the capacity of 18,000 TEUs. And indeed, we have set new records recently by handling several mega vessels of the highest capacity of 24,000 TEUs per vessels. The terminals has over 7,800 river plugs. I don't know whether you know river plugs or not.
River plugs.
River plugs are for refrigerated containers. This is the highest number in the South China area.
I see. So as the chairman of the association, what initiative have the container terminals undertaken to enhance the competitiveness of Hong Kong ports?
Yeah. In order to enhance the competitiveness of the port, actually in 2019, 4 container terminals, namely HIT, Hong Kong International Terminals, MTL, Modern Terminals, COSCO HIT, and Asia Container Terminals, has formed a Hong Kong Seaport Alliance.
Hong Kong Seaport
Hong
Alliance.
Kong, or we call it Hong Kong SPA, actually Seaport Alliance.
SPA.
Yeah. So with an aim to increase the efficiency and to optimize the resource utilization among terminal operators. With the joint operations planning, we have provided more efficient facilities and resources, achieving port efficiency and cost efficiency, and also enhance the customer service offerings for our shipping lines customers, so as to increase the overall competitiveness of the Port of Hong Kong. Currently, the Alliance have over 200 weekly liner calls. The extensive network actually has made Hong Kong port as the largest intra-Asia port in the Greater Bay Area. The formation of this alliance has enhanced the terminals to provide more efficient services by reducing more than 50% of the inter-terminal trucking.
Inter-terminal trucking means?
That means the traffic
within the port.
Within the port by truck. By trucks carrying containers from one terminal to the other terminals. I mean, before there will be ships berthing at HIT, for example, and then ships at one terminals. If you're doing the transshipment, you might need to bring the containers from HIT to MTL.
Which is quite a bit of work, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it helps to reduce the time, reduce the cost, as well as reduce the carbonization. So that's very helpful. And
so it's also good for the environment as well.
Exactly.
Reducing carbonization.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Yeah. And also the terminal operators have invested a lot of money in information technology. In year 2019, we have released the electronic release order, and in 2021, we have released the electronic booking confirmation note to digitalize the container import and export processes.
Well, they'll actually optimize and also make it a lot more efficient in comparison.
Exactly,
right?
and to reduce the non-valued paper processes and administration, and providing timely dissemination of information among the users. Actually, the application of innovative technology in operations has also seen the use of 5G and AI in remote control systems of container cranes and automation of container stacking.
Right.
In addition, the terminal operators are also exploring the application of autonomous electric trucks within the container terminals.
Oh, so that means no drivers?
Eventually, yes.
Eventually.
Yeah, we're exploring the technology right now.
Wow, that's very interesting, because if that's the case, again, there's another very good way to optimize and also make it more efficient.
Exactly, and to save manpower, in fact.
For sure. But would that be joint investment from the 5 major players to make it more efficient within the operation?
Right now is the initiatives by the Hong Kong Seaport Alliance, meaning that the 4 container terminals.
So we all share the cost.
All share the cost.
Oh, that's very
all share
good.
the resources.
So all collaborating together to make Hong Kong a more competitive one.
Right.
Wow, that's wonderful. So the throughput of Hong Kong ports dropped a lot this year. We understand that. And I heard that it was mainly due to the high THC at the Hong Kong port, which is much higher than the other ports in mainland China. Is that really the case? And will Hong Kong terminals consider to reduce the THC in the near future?
The throughput of Hong Kong has dropped by 14.8% in the first 3 quarters of the year. But apart from the competition from the neighboring ports, actually there are a number of external factors, including the high interest rates, the weak global economy, the uncertainties of the trade disputes between China and the US, yes, and also the Russian and Ukraine wars. So back to the THC, actually THC is not charged by terminal operators to shippers. This is actually a long time misconception. THC, called terminal handling charge, is a charge or a fee levied by shipping lines onto shippers for unloading containers onto a discharge port to a position in the container yards and for clear the cargo eventually. The word terminal handling charge, the word terminal actually has brought a lot of misconception to the general public. People would think this is a charge by terminal operators to the shippers, which is not. On the other hand, we have the CHC, we call it CHC as container handling charge. This is a charge by the container terminals on our customers, the shipping lines, for unloading containers onto the container terminals or vice versa. So this is totally nothing to do with the THC. But of course the CHC, the container handling charge, will form one of the components of the THC charged by the shipping lines to the shippers. But again, the THC, we have no control on it because it's a shipping lines charge onto the shippers. Actually, in this CHC, charging by the terminals operators to the shipping lines have been reduced by 40% since the year of 2000 in order to make the ports to stay competitive.
So actually, this is something that needs to be clarified with the general community, so they understand that, like, we have been working hard to make ourselves more competitive.
Exactly. So I'm glad you give me the chance. I'm glad you give me the chance to explain that and to clarify the misconception of the general public. But back to the THC, I would again say that it is not fair to say that THC is the main contributor to the throughput drop in Hong Kong.
Well, thank you so much for the answering. And could you highlight some of the positive contributions of the Hong Kong port industry?
Oh yes, of course. The port and logistics industry has made significant contributions to the economy and employment of Hong Kong. According to the statistics of the government, which issued lately, in 2021, the industry contributed to 6.2% of the Hong Kong GDPs, which is equivalent to 169 million Hong Kong dollars, and provided 185,500 jobs, which is equivalent to 5.1% of the total employment of Hong Kong.
That's a lot.
Well, that's not enough. Taking a wider perspective, the related trading and logistics industries together contributes 23.7% of the Hong Kong GDPs, which is equivalent to 651 million Hong Kong dollars, and provides 608,200 jobs, which is equivalent to 16.6% of the total employment of Hong Kong. Okay, this is one contribution. The other I would like to highlight is during the wave of the fifth wave of pandemic in the year of 2022, the supply of vegetables, if you remember, and the other daily necessities from mainland China were scanned because thousands of truck drivers will not be able to cross the boundary. So making the prices of the vegetable, meat, and necessities very high.
Yes.
Okay. So in view of this, the terminal operators worked closely with the Hong Kong government and other industry stakeholders to provide a cross-boundary transportation for the fresh vegetables, meat, medical supplies, and daily necessities from China to Hong Kong through the barge services.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
that was so significant. That was so helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to continue to feed us.
Exactly. That's a very important initiative. Actually, we implemented several measures to make it happen, including dedicated barge berths, not a berth, berths, and then dedicated inspection channel. So to speed up the inspection process and clearance processes, so that the necessities and the food could be quickly transported to the market.
To the needed.
That's true. That's true. So the collective effort of the container terminals and government and industry stakeholders has ensures a reliable and uninterrupted global logistics chain, fully demonstrated Hong Kong port as one of the international maritime center. Also, in the area of protecting environment, the container terminal operators have spared no efforts in the decarbonizations. We use electric vehicles, we use hybrid shuttle buses, and also electric forklifts.
So rather than just gas, you use other source of energy for the transportation as well.
We also use the solar panel systems and the LED lights to help reduce energy using.
Very good.
The terminals are also working very closely with the government and other industry stakeholders to develop the city into a greenfield bunkering city. Bunkering meaning that you have to, you know, like a car, you need to go to a station for filling, right?
Yes,
filling petrol. Bunkering is to fill the vessels. You need the storage, but you need some facilities to fill up the vessels. So we are developing Hong Kong as a greenfield bunkering center, covering various green and cleaner energy, including LNG and methanol.
Oh, I see.
And then there will be more cleaner energies like ammonia coming up in a very soon future.
I see. Actually, with your sharing, I found that, like, I'm actually so happy to hear that, because I was just hearing that some neighboring countries has been talking about Hong Kong. The only major industry in Hong Kong is finance and real estate. But with your sharing, I realized that there are lots of other industries that are actually making significant contributions to the Hong Kong economy, and we are working hard to do the basic things rather than just play around with finance. So this is very good comment, and very happy to hear that. Really.
Well, thank you for that. Actually, the port industry is a traditional industry.
Yes.
I think in the old days, people used to talk about the container ports, but I think in recent years, because the finance and other financial services sectors are coming up so quick, and people, the attention of people are all gear up towards that sector.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you helped me to bring this port industry and logistics industry back to the eyesight of the general public.
So how does the Task Force of Smart Ports Hong Kong contribute to the development of a technologically advanced and efficient port system?
Actually, the Task Force of Smart Port was formed in November 2021, and after that, the government has commissioned a consultancy firm in June 2022 to prepare a research proposal for developing a smart port. And right now, a testing platform has been developed. However, the platform still needs a lot of work currently to make it really moving forward further. We need all the stakeholders to be included in the systems.
Right.
So we need to serve the entire port
there needs
community.
to be a lot of collaboration.
Exactly.
I can imagine.
We need to serve the entire port community instead of just limited stakeholders like the container terminal operators.
Right.
So a lot more work need to be done actually. So we hope the government and the consultants can come up with a concrete plan and schedule for the development, which can provide a standard and comprehensive platform for the port community to use, and also the stakeholders and terminal operators could work out our future strategies accordingly.
Yes. So is there any timeline for this consideration? Not yet, huh?
Right now, actually, no. I haven't heard of any
it takes time.
concrete timelines yet. Maybe the government is working on it. So that's why we said we need the government to tell us the roadmap, the schedule of the smart port development.
And also with that, I'm actually thinking a step further that they're talking about, like one of the hot topics recently is the Greater Bay Area. So with that, like for the development of this system, maybe experience can also be drawn from other neighboring ports, and from there even to have the systems to literally talk to each other.
Exactly, you're so right.
I think that would be the future
so right. You're
for
so
GBD,
right.
I would think.
So right. I think that the future of the smart port, apart from serving the local port community, we need to connect with other ports in the region, or perhaps ports in the world as well. But that will be a very long-term target. Right now, we're looking for serving the port communities as a whole.
I see, because with the Greater Bay Area to be integrated more efficiently, that's definitely the big direction to go for, right?
Exactly.
And if this is the time to consider how to make it better, this is the time to think about integration.
Exactly.
So tell the government about it.
True.
Yeah, so as an experienced professional in the container terminal business, what insights can you provide about the future prospects and challenges for the port industry?
Well, yes, I worked in the industry for quite a long time. So, so I think although the port throughput right now is dropping, but the throughput volume is still huge. And with the continuous efforts of the container terminal operators and the industry stakeholders and the government, so I'm quite optimistic that we will be still very competitive with our high efficiency and flexibilities, and with the cabotage rule of law, and also the free port to support this. So the future of the port is still there. That's how I see. In the new 2023 policy address, the chief executive have announced that the government will publish an action plan on later this year to enhance the high-end maritime services, and to facilitate transformation towards the zero emission, promote smart initiatives and digitalization and in the maritime industry, and promote exchanges and collaborations in the Greater Bay Area port clusters.
Yeah, just like what we mentioned earlier.
Exactly. So we are expecting that there will be more measures to support the port of Hong Kong and for the future development. So that's why we are quite certain that actions and policies will be issued later by the government to support the development of the port. And we're looking forward to the details of this action plan. So with appropriate and timely actions we hope that the Port of Hong Kong future will be positively grown up again.
I would say it's not hope, it's for sure. It's going to be good.
So container terminal operators will continue to deliver our excellent services to our customers, to the society, and making sure that the Port of Hong Kong will continue to stay competitive.
And of course to thrive and grow, and also help Hong Kong to grow better.
Yeah,
yes.
True.
So being the industry representative, do you have any suggestions to the Hong Kong SAR government on how to maintain the competitiveness of Hong Kong ports? You have mentioned some of the points in the previous interview, but well, any extra points to add?
Our association has raised our suggestions and concerns to the government through various occasions, including at the meeting of the Maritime and Port Board, and also meetings of the Logistics Development Council, and also in the annual public consultation for policy address and budget. Suggestions included like firstly, we need support from the central government to coordinate the port development in the Greater Bay Area in order to grow an overall volume for the region, but not individual port. In addition, there should be coordination in government initiatives such as providing incentives and subsidies among ports in GBA in order to ensure a level playing field.
Oh, right. Yes, understand.
Okay. Well, secondly, we need the government to drive and facilitate, like I said, the simplification of customs clearance at the boundary between Hong Kong and Shenzhen.
I see.
So to create a cluster port instead of Shenzhen Port, Hong Kong Port, and to drive cargo volume
that's
to
what
Hong
we're talking
Kong.
about, the integration between the two.
Exactly.
Right?
For example, we think of introducing a joint boundary control system between Hong Kong and Shenzhen, so with the objectives of improving efficiency, improving driving time, and improving cost as well.
Well, that I would think also to be very carefully align the interests of different stakeholders. Right,
exactly.
Yes, I can imagine.
Exactly. And also we also need the government to provide terminal operators and industry stakeholders, like I mentioned before, a roadmap for the development of smart port, so that industry, like terminal operators and other industry stakeholders, could formulate strategies accordingly. And we'd like to government to provide some incentives, subsidies to terminal operators and industry stakeholders for their continuous effort in developing digitalization and automation, because it will need huge resources to upgrade systems, equipment, and things like that.
I understand that there are some government subsidies, like for IT. Information technology related initiatives, right?
Exactly.
So would that be able to be applied to the port industry as well?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so. You have to have a focus initiatives for them to apply for. And the last one, last but not least, we would like the government to establish a statutory body, like a Maritime and Port Authority, just like the airport authority in the aviation industry, so that to create strategies and to promote and support the long-term development of the port.
I see. Wow. So your sharing has been so insightful that we have an overall picture of the port industry in Hong Kong, and also you have given us some insights on how to further develop from the originally good position despite of challenges to make it better for the future, and also integration with the GBD. Right. That's very good sharing today.
Thank you for the chance for letting me sharing with you and and the audiences as well.
Well, very much appreciated. So thank you very much for watching our show today. And until then, we'll have more interesting speakers coming up to our show in future. Until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.